Yeah, I think abiogenesis is like, maybe I'm biased, right? But I think it's like the best proof for God and intelligent design via science, because there is just so many problems with it, like that make it impossible. And they realize this from researching it. They realize all of the different conditions. And there have been abiogenesis and original life researchers come out and say, look, bro, we are here. We are not past step one. And like the more we're learning, the more we're realizing how incompatible it is. Like, so I don't know. I think that if there's no evidence for it, like they shouldn't be teaching it as if it's some proven, theory. Like a theory needs coherence. There's zero coherence. There's still people trying to figure out what came first. RNA, proteins, whatever, amyloids, whatever they want to say. Like they can't even figure that out. And it's actually even worse because there wasn't just one code that had to form like the DNA code. There was two, the amino acids too. The amino acids code for proteins. And then so now we got these two codes, the protein codes, which are made of amino acids, and then the DNA codes made of nucleotides. They're completely different codes. Completely different. For example, 3 nucleotides code for 1 amino acid. And then so we got these 2 codes forming simultaneously. And then what is mediating these codes? How did the mediator come about? Like to learn, hey, this code means this and this means this. Like I'm gonna mediate between them. And that's kind of what Dan was trying to say yesterday, was like with the tRNAs, they have like 50 proteins. And for every one of those proteins, you need the translator. So you need it to create itself. And it's just like, how did it ever learn to translate between it? How did it ever create any code? There's so many issues. And then for the tRNAs, the translators, they need magnesium, but if they did have magnesium, they would have broken apart the RNAs. The RNAs break up at the amounts of magnesium that the tRNAs need to fold. So there's so many incompatibilities. And it's just like they're not even like they haven't even formed a functional protein from inorganic materials in a lab. They literally like subcompartmentalize each experiment where they'll like do like the Miller-Urey experiment to get some amino acids that are chiral, by the way, that could never form a protein. They all have to be left-handed in order to form protein. But they'll get that and they'll say, yeah, okay, now we got amino acids. Now let's move on to this. So now we're going to take some already forming amino acids, put them under some hydrothermal alkaline vent conditions, and get them to form and get them to bond together. And then they assume that that's a protein, right? So they start from scratch each time. They're never making any sort of consecutive experiments. And that happens with everything. And then like the experiments they are doing, the reason why they can't do them all in the same pot per se is because they all require different conditions.
What do you say to the flat earthers that think that all this is bunk, that there's no such thing as DNA, that they never isolated DNA? What's your rebuttal? Because
Well,
I
I
get
would
some of
say
that
the
resistance
DNA.
sometimes.
I would say the DNA is one of the best proofs of God that we can see looking with science. And, I mean, I don't know how I'd even work around that to say it's not real because, by changing DNA, you can get different effects. And also, like, this is how we got GMO organisms. Like, they can make some crazy radical freaking hybrid. Like, I think that's what the Nephilim were.
That's actually last week.
I think that the
there's a
water
lag. I'm sorry.
DNA. This is how we had some of the hybrids. Just like it said, all flesh was corrupted in the days of Noah. I think they were messing with the DNA, and that's why we had
absolutely
the flood and these other artifacts that we found.
Whoa. So hold on.
Hold on real quick. Hold on, because I just want to say this real quick.
Hold on.
Actually, that was my rebuttal when people were challenging me on DNA, and I was like, "What have you guys heard of what Monsanto's doing with corn and grains? How they're mixing literally scorpion DNA and wasp DNA with vegetables? Like, how is that possible? And they're really doing it, and they got all the work." But yeah, go ahead, Roots.
I was just going to say, if you think there is evidence of gene manipulation and genetic mastery in the ancient times, then wouldn't it be highly likely that we are the results of genetic manipulation? Because you really think about what you're saying there, that level of science and technology could create a whole race of people or breed of animal.
Right. So I think that there was a creator, right? They created the DNA. and then it was tampered with, right? But either way, but for the basis of my own argument, it's just that we're intelligently designed, and then from there is another a theological argument that has other implications and conversations. But for the purpose of my argument, I was really just saying that we are intelligently designed. So even if there was something tampering with our DNA, then we could say, yeah, well, that's still some sort of intervention happening. But yeah, I believe in a creator, right? Like like a prime creator, right? And then they have other angels under him that rebelled and so on and so forth.
So I posted some gifs in the chat of cell mitosis, which is incredible. I recently found out about this last year. This is real. This is not CGI. This is real cells dividing. And actually, if you see those strings, those are the chromosomes, the ribosomes, actually replicating. That's DNA replication in action right there. And it looks electrostatic in nature in toroidal. If you pause it, it's fascinating. And those little dots right there are what people refer to as exosomes or microzyma, which are fascinating in itself. We can go into a whole conversation about it.
Yeah,
And
like the somatids. The
yeah,
beast
the
was talking about
somatids.
But so yeah, I put a picture of DNA just in my presentation just because I knew a lot of people were skeptical. And that's why I had so many pictures of these micrographs of the complexity of the cell, because I knew that people were already kind of skeptical. So if they don't believe, what I'm like trying to demonstrate about the cell, then my intelligent design argument's just gonna like fall on deaf ears.
But
That's why I
Taylor,
tried to make a case, like, look how amazing the cell is. It's not just like a ball of jelly, it's amazing. And this amazingness is actually proof that we were designed.
so if you see that replication underway, what is controlling and ordering the DNA to do that? Like the way that it does it so elegantly.
The microtubules.
There
It's
seems to be a
amazing. That's what
force
I
there,
study. That's
an,
why I'm so
an
interested
energy,
in them.
right? A ruach. There seems to be a
They have
ruach there,
quantum properties.
and there seems to be something external.
I know.
That's
There's like
actually
and I'm going to try to add this in my next presentation. There was an experiment where somebody took all the components of life and put them together, but getting them to go is the hard part. You can have it all there, getting it to start moving and functioning. If you
right.
watch the video I posted or that I was presenting on, well, actually, I didn't add that video, but
Well, hold on, because
life
this
in the
goes
cell, everything's functioning in like there. It's like something metaphysical is happening.
right. So hold on a second, because this one I'm trying to get you. I'm just what I'm trying to hit home, right? Because earlier we were saying what were we saying earlier about panentheism versus pantheism, right? That we're all tethered to the Creator through the Spirit, and through the Spirit He sustains all things. And there seems to be an external force, a supernatural force that's responsible for this process. There's a literal force, or ruach, that's organizing everything. That's making everything orderly. And it's right here. You can see it, and I posted the GIF. I mean, it's undeniable.
You should watch the Life in the Cell by Harvard. It was actually done by BioVisions, and it shows like how everything is working in perfect unison. Like maybe I'll add a segment of that if I get to present in here. I reached out to who is this live stream at the top? I don't even know if that's the right person, but
Livestream text 1.
what'd you say?
We're in livestream text 1. That's where I'm posting.
Okay.
Yo, you
That's
need to speak
oh,
to Tayler.
wait, what'd you say?
You need to speak to Geo.
Okay, Geo, yeah, because I've messaged Livestream 1 live and they never respond. I don't know if that's yeah. Well, I've messaged them twice in total, but I don't know if that's a real person or not.
I don't
No,
think so.
no. Just message you, and you can do your presentation for sure. Just message you, and he'll set it up. Not a problem. Anybody can do a presentation if they want to. Goes for
Have you,
Yeah,
everybody.
and I would love for all
Tay-
the atheists to come watch it. And please give me rebuttals. I would love any feedback, anything. Like, I would love a good rebuttal from an atheist on where I'm wrong.
have you heard of the holiday junction? I don't know if you know what
I'll
that is.
tell you that one way from an atheist's perspective, Taylor.
Hold on, dude. I was asking real quick.
All right.
Has anybody heard of the holiday junction?
No.
No. Well, I posted it.
Okay.
That's apparently when the DNA replicates, it does it through this process. It's called the holiday junction. It's literally insane. The machinery is completely out of this world.